All right, hey everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays, coming to you live as the stock market is open on this Monday, September 28th. Hope everyone is doing okay today. Man, did I have a busy weekend trying to get this MRI code published, and I did not succeed. So I will try again today and get that thing out to people so I can actually start preparing for the workshop that is going to take place this Saturday. All right, let's go to screen share. Once again, this is the workshop coming up this Saturday on the MRI. You can click on the details. I was able to fill these out. And for those that already have access to the current version of the indicator, I will cut out this part right here, a thorough explanation of all the MRI settings, and I will provide that to you guys so that you know what is different visually in the MRI, because the way you trade it is exactly the same. Everything else pretty much remains intact. I hope the audio is good. I hope the video is good. Let me make sure of that from my end. And all right. And let's go with the charts. Of course, if you want to support, just use the affiliate page. All right. This was, oh man, the charts are going to be a little bit reset because I was looking for examples for the MRI publication. Yeah, this is the, I think it was right here. No, here or there. Yeah, this is me looking to publish the MRI. And then as I was finding examples, I found, a couple of things that needed to be fixed. Ended up fixing a bug, causing another bug, fixing that bug, causing another bug. So went in circles for a while all weekend. And but we're back, and I'm gonna get that thing out soon. The monthly chart. I tried to pull up the monthly chart. Oh, I wonder if this is gonna work now. This is one of the things that wasn't working. There we go. We are up and running on the monthly chart. It doesn't look like much because the month is coming to an end. So we might as well start looking at it. So we were looking at the monthly chart in its Heikin-Ashi form. And in its Heikin-Ashi form, it has been acting very, very nicely with the MRI. Now this candle, well, these two candles here really changed the trajectory. And as you can see, nothing is really interesting in the MRI space with the monthly Heikin-Ashi, but it's another green candle. And if we can break out next candle and break the stop and reverse, by the way, once the MRI is done, the next thing I'm going to work on is the Tone Vays stop and reverse. The Tone Vays SAR will be known as the TSAR, TSAR. It's going to be fun. Can't wait to start working on that. Though I really should focus on automating trading with the MRI. So one of those two things is going to happen next. Maybe I'll just, because the TSAR won't take long. That should only take a week or two. And then after that, I'm going to start focusing on, maybe I'll see if combining the two is really neat or not. We'll find out. Anyway, let's go back to the regular candles. Okay, here are the regular candles, and it's really not interesting in the world of the MRI. Not at all. Now, you can turn on details, which I'm hoping you don't need that often. But if you turn on details, you can see where you are in the counts, and you can also turn on all on the extension details, and you can also turn on the higher time frame details. But since this is a monthly chart, it's not going to show you anything because we just have it defaulted to daily, monthly, and daily, weekly, and monthly. So that won't do anything on a monthly chart. So you can see how there are no details for the extensions. All of that has ended, but the trend version, we're on a 6 here. We ended on a 6, and now we're on a 6 again. So let me turn that off. Okay. So the monthly chart is going to give us a negative month. Now, giving us a negative month is not a big deal because we had a negative month a few months ago, followed by a huge rally in July. So far, we're okay. Now, we're still going to, this will be like the 5th highest monthly close ever, assuming we close in this range. So we're just going to wait and see. Okay, so that's the monthly chart. Put that on the left. Weekly chart. Weekly is the current active chart. Let me turn off the TI. I had to test one against the other because, like I said, we ran into a couple of potential bugs, but it's good now. This was a rough weekend, guys. Did not get much sleep. Maybe I'm teaching the workshop a week too early, but hey, it needs to get done. I've been dragging this thing long enough. Okay, so the weekly chart is not that interesting, to be honest with you. Nice little rally last night. We are up to 10,900, but we are still in full consolidation along with the body of last week's candle. So we're getting close to a breakout, but we really need to get above 11,500. That's where we really need to get to. Right now, it's nice, but it's nothing to really get worked up over. Actually, I don't need my camera. It's turned up top of my head. Because I have my my chart is on my laptop, which is below my big monitor, which is where the live chat is and everything else is. Because of the resolution on my big monitor, it doesn't come through very well on the stream. Daily chart bounced right off the 128-day moving average once again. But if you guys recall, my last video was on Friday. Again, we can turn off the TI. I don't really need it. There we go. As you can see, because it just clutters the chart at this point for me. Like I said, you can always turn on the details here, here, and here, whatever details you need on the MRI, and you'll see it all right there. Okay, see the trend count, you see the extension counts, and you see the higher level time frame counts, the weekly and the monthly. The daily doesn't show up because we're looking at the daily. So there you go. So those are your details. So this is looking nice, and we are rallying back to the prior swing high and this now declining 50-period moving average. So here's the good and the bad. The good is, the bullish part of it is, when you approach this double top, there's a higher probability of breaking out. But here's the bad news. This moving average is a high probability of a rejection. So right now, for me, this is once again a no trade zone because we are coming up at a very critical juncture. Now, if we can break above 11,000, say above 11,100, I then become bullish. And that gets me very close to getting above 11,500, which makes me bullish on a weekly scale. But right now, my weekly is neutral, and so is my daily. So they're both neutral. This is supposed to be the 4-hour chart. I'm looking at the 1-hour chart mostly because I was testing something. And here I am really testing the extension C. Extension C. Should show up in a minute. Because it had a very interesting situation. I may try to bring this up as an example in the workshop. Because you see the extension C begins here. Well, it begins over here. And then it picks up a second extension C over here. But that's what the background number is. See, it went from C7 on this candle to, sorry, C6 on this candle to a C7 on this candle with a comma 1. That's because there is a background extension C happening. And the background extension C is actually ahead of the foreground extension C. This particular top does not have an extension C because of how massive this candle was. So there is some interesting stuff going on in the back end. Back in the day, I used to refer this as a quasi 9. Now that no longer matters because there are no more 9s. However, the way an MRI top forms determines whether there is or isn't an extension count. And this does not have an extension count. So there are only 2 extension counts. But the one in the background is ahead of the one in the foreground. Oh, that just appeared. So now I'm waiting to make sure that it properly, because these things are almost impossible to randomly find examples of. So now I'm waiting on these to complete. So hopefully the hourly chart will keep going up for me to test this properly. Oh, disappeared again. But you can see how it's working. But it's hard to visually test the background number. Though I just thought of something I need to talk to my developer about. All right. Okay. Anyway, enough thinking. Hi, interesting. I like how that went up. Huh. Cool. I've never seen that before either. But it makes sense because the same line that became a higher line. Yeah, this is the breakout line. New name for it. We name these things. Everything is customizable. You can hide it. You can hide the dotted lines. You can hide those lines. You can see, you'll see them both disappear. I hope. I don't think I need to press OK. Yep, they disappeared. So you can bring that one back. That's the dotted line, the support resistance line. There it is. Came back. And the other one came back. Okay. 4-hour chart. This is what we normally look at. 4-hour chart is right at resistance and it has made a double top. So because it has made a double top at resistance, I believe, didn't mean to move that. I believe the probability is higher that we will move up that way. This becomes a very critical line. Again, nothing has changed. If we can get to that line, this is back in play. Look, I would like to see Bitcoin go up. I'm already losing my bet pretty. I'm already assuming I'm going to lose my bet. I've already lost 70 days, and today will be 71. So I'm only down to 20 days. And we got 3 months to go. So I need more than 2 of the last 3 months of the year to be below 10,000 for me to lose the bet. We came close. Like all of this, all these candles were trading below 10,000. So I could have gotten all of these days, but they all rallied and closed above 10,000 by end of day. And yeah, this stayed above 10,000. So here, so this one too. Like this line right here is below 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, not 8, 7. So these 7 days were all trading below 10K, but they closed above 10K by end of day. So I lost 7 days here that I had a chance of winning. I didn't have a chance on any of the other days because they stayed above 10,000 the whole day. So if I had 30 or 40 days going into the last 3 months, I'd feel better, but it's okay. It's a bet I'm willing to. It's a bet I don't mind losing. Let's turn off the tone bet. Okay, I see a bunch of questions. Hey guys, can you help me out with questions? Yep, I see them coming in. Thanks, Brian, for shooting the questions over. Let me look at the traditional markets real quick. Oh, how's the GBTC premium right now? It's still under 10%. That's pretty good. I still have some, dry powder to go in heavier on GBTC, and I will do that either above 11.5 or around 9. Okay, that's my plan. Gold is still on track to go a little bit lower. I know it's rallying today along with the stock market, but this is an ugly looking chart, and it is calling for a slightly bigger pullback because to me, it is right now gold's in the middle of nowhere. It's not anywhere near support, but this is good support. So around 1750 is reasonable support. So maybe another $100 down for gold before a reversal. This is me doing screenshots and stuff for, what is this? Do I have gold? Hold on. These are my screenshots. Oh, I think I forgot about that one. These are the screenshots for, well, maybe the workshop, but for the publication. Yeah, I don't have that one. I don't have, oh, okay, good. So I need to copy this URL into here. Okay. I need that. Yeah, look at this. This is the only instance I have where the MRI got hit 5 times in a row. Literally in a row. It's crazy. And these are weekly candles. So throughout this entire year, CBOE did nothing but go up. And then on the week, it hit the 5th consecutive MRI top. It crashed 30% in like 2 weeks. Crazy. Literally destroyed, like God knows, like 5-6 months of straight up gains in 2 weeks. This was back in 2018. All right, now I can close that. S&P 500. S&P 500 is rallying really nicely today. So good for the S&P. Again, it had a daily and weekly top along with the yearly top. Well, the yearly top's been there all along. And when this year started, back in February, you knew this was going to be a crazy year because of the yearly top on the MRI. So, kind of crazy. And we still don't know if with the election coming up, we have no idea if we're going to still get a huge down leg. Nobody knows. We broke this line right here, which means I believe that we're bullish right now on the MRI. Should probably close the TI. So I believe we're bullish right now as long as we hold this red line to the upside. Weekly S&P. That's a nice gap. I anticipate this gap to close at some point this week, next week, but we'll see. This gap never closed. I wonder if we're ever going to close this gap. All the other gaps are closed, except this one. It's the only gap left. Well, back here, but I actually don't believe we're going to close these. These were straight up breakaway gaps. This one is a little debatable, though it looks like a breakaway gap. But yeah, this is oh wait, this is daily chart. That's not, it's not weekly chart. So daily chart here, third consecutive MRI top, in line with the weekly, in line. Obviously, this whole year is a top. This is supposed to be a weekly scale. So there's your weekly top. Probably not much other annotations. Oh, I wonder if I had that saved somewhere. Yeah, again, this is me doing screenshots for the workshop and for the publication on TradingView. That's the CBOE chart. Oh, that's me writing up the description for TradingView. That's it. That's it on the charts. Let's look at your questions. Again, guys, if you want to support, check out the affiliate page. I'm teaching the workshop this Saturday. Man, in hindsight, I should have made it next Saturday, but it's all good. Just not going to get much sleep until then. Still have to release it, still have to make presentations. Check out TWST. It's not, I mean, the weekly is not that interesting. It's breaking out and it's clearly has more upside. Monthly, it's topped. So monthly, it looks like it's over, but that is not a bearish candle whatsoever. And the month's over in 2 days. So I'm not really bearish monthly. I'm certainly not bearish weekly. And I am not bearish daily at all. So it is an interesting chart. The monthly is telling me we topped, but we also did correct earlier this month, right here. And that correction earlier this month, you know, was 17% twice. So you could have definitely made money on the short side with the MRI monthly top. This should not be a losing trade. You should have already had your stop loss hit, because on a daily scale and the weekly scale, you are bullish as of Friday. This is still has a bullish look to me. The weekly did its 1 to 4 candle correction, followed by what is now the extension phase. Do you think Bitcoin will have weeks where it goes up 50% or more ever again? No, I don't. I don't remember the last time it had weeks where it went up 50%. Oh, weeks. I was thinking days. So let's see. We went up 50% in a week, but there was a crash. So here in about a week, we went 85% up, but that was off a crash. So yeah, if Bitcoin crashes to 7K, it can certainly go back up to 10K in a week. So that's possible. But what we are talking about specifically is more of a breakout scenario. Can Bitcoin go up 50% in a week? Like, let's see if this week went up 50%. It did not. This week only went up 30%. So that means there's no week in this run-up that Bitcoin went up 50%. So the only time it ever happened was off the crash. Right here, how far did we go up? we went up also 30%. So we'd have to go back. Let's see if there was any instances in the run-up. Well, right here, I believe we might have. Oh, probably not. Off the crash. Yeah, right here, another off a crash. So off this low. So this happened probably midweek, and that happened probably midweek. What is this box? What is that? What is that for? Can I slide it around? How do I even draw that? I'm deleting this. I don't know what it does. So that's also off a big crash. We went up 80% in about a week because, and I'm using 2 candles, but this probably happened midweek and this probably happened midweek. So that's pretty much it. Again, one more off a crash. Yep, 50% right there. But on a breakout candle, it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. This one probably didn't even do it. It did not. And the final up candle clearly didn't do it either. No, it didn't do it. So it's possible of a crash, sure. If we fall down to 7, and then immediately the following week go up to 10. Fall down to 5, which I don't think is going to happen, and then immediately go the following week to 7.5. But on a breakout, I don't. Okay, whoa, got a lot of questions. Okay, let's see. Bitcoin weekly MACD. Well, this is Bitcoin weekly. MACD. Yeah, it's crossing. It's not good. It's crossing to the downside. It's not good. It crossed back here, and that led to some horrible downside. It doesn't cross that often in this area. Actually, it's the 3rd time ever. Well, maybe not ever, but let me see. We are in the 600 range. Well, obviously, because their MACD is not going to be higher. So we have to use like relative kind of. So here's what I think is more likely to happen. I think the current crossover is not like this. I think the current crossover is more like this. This is the January 2016 crossover. I think this is the one that's closest to what we're dealing with now, where it's kind of consolidating before breaking out, and during this consolidation, it can fall. So let's go take a look at January 2016 and see how January into May 2016 worked out. Okay, so where's January 2016? So here's January 2016 up here. Right, so we were consolidating before the breakout. Now this breakout was driven by the halving. So we're probably not going to get the halving breakout already happened. But right here we had these like, swing highs and swing lows. These were, that's a drop of 20%. So I think we're more in this area here where we're kind of consolidating, but upwards trending, and we can certainly fall back down and make a higher low. So that is where I feel the MACD reminds me of. So we can still fall back to like 9, but I don't see us going all the way down. It's possible. 7 is my worst case scenario, but it's unlikely. Do you think Bitcoin could decouple from traditional markets in 2021? Yes. Yes, I think it can decouple in 2021 after the election, because whoever gets elected is going to do some radical, well, I mean, I'd use the word radical. Whoever gets elected, whether it's Trump round 2 or, God forbid, right, Biden round 1, they're gonna cause some waves. I mean, Trump can really start putting politicians in prison, which is why he better have the best security in the world. That's all I have to say. Like, Trump better have the best security anyone has ever seen in the history of the world. Because I think it's possible, if Trump gets reelected, or I do believe he will get reelected, I hope he goes after some politicians and puts them in prison for some of the shit that they have done. Mostly having to do with bribery and stuff like that. On the flip side, if Biden gets elected, oh boy, get ready for higher taxes, get ready for God knows what else. Yeah, it's gonna be scary in a completely different way. So, also, if Trump gets elected, remember, it's the radical left that are doing all these violent protests. It's the radical left. It's always the communists. It's the, like, ask the Antifa guys who they're voting for. Will be, and you'll understand real quick. So it's the radical left that is doing all the violent protests. It's the socialists, it's the communists. And if Trump gets reelected, they're going to double down on their stupid ideas. So it can get violent. So yeah, so Bitcoin could easily decouple from the traditional markets in 2021, no matter who gets elected. I see a comment. Trump will imprison himself for bribery. Who is bribing Trump? Guys, your conspiracy theories are insane. Trump is a very rich person with a brand name. You may not like the brand name, but he's not bribable. He's not bribable. I'm more bribable than Trump. I mean, I turned down 500,000. You know, if that was 5 to 10 million, you know, maybe I'll promote a shitcoin. Who knows? Probably not, but you never know. 500 was offered, I turned it down. If $1 million is offered, we'll see. I'll probably turn it down. If it's 5 million, if it's 10 million, you know. Trump's not bribable, though. Everybody can be blackmailed. No, not everybody. I'll be hard to blackmail. I think it'll be hard to blackmail Trump. It's a lot easier to blackmail any other politician, I'll tell you that much right now. Which is probably how Epstein was getting away with it. I should watch that documentary. All right, let's get back to questions. Enough politics. Tone, okay, I did that one already. Tone, what are your thoughts on the crossing of the 50, 128, and 200 MAs? Well, they're not crossing. They're not even close, right? Let me see. They're not crossing. They're all above each other, and the higher two are rising. So we're looking at the daily. They're not crossing. Micron Microchips, MU, never heard of it. Not interesting. Consolidating. Monthly top right here dropped hard off the monthly top. Yeah, see right there? Monthly MRI, boom, down we go. But that was also March. Everything went down with COVID. It's not interesting. It's consolidating. It's not hitting a high or a low. Whoa, look at this scenario. Wow, look at that. That is wild. So right here, back in March, cool. So you are in the middle of a monthly sell, but we also have a weekly buy, but this weekly buy seems to be seem to have too many W's here. So that's, I think I just found another bug. Like, it's hard to find all these test cases. That's why this thing is going to be in beta. Interesting. Something is wrong. I'm taking a screenshot. Thank you. Good thing I haven't released this thing yet. Wow, I've never, I'll double check that. 1 second. So I want to go to the weekly chart and see what's going on. So this is a daily MRI buy in line with a weekly MRI buy, in line with a monthly MRI sell. The month is March, but this W, something's off on these W's. Should only be 5 of them, not 30 of them. Or 25 or 20 of them, I should say. Let me see. Yeah, so I think that weekly shouldn't be there. Yeah, there's no weekly buy there. Cool. All right, might have found a bug. Yeah, it's so hard to test every single case because you don't even know what cases could possibly arise. All right, cool. Solve that one. Yeah, there's really nothing interesting going on there. Sorry. DraftKings. Yeah, we pay attention to DraftKings on this show. Believe it's on my list. There it is. DraftKings is doing well. Sports is back. Everyone is talking fantasy. So here you go. That is a weekly chart, and it looks like it's ready to go to the moon. Monthly chart is even more moonish, and the daily chart just broke out. There is absolutely nothing here that is telling me to be concerned with the stock. It's going higher, and you stay with the trend. If I add these, which I will be explaining on my workshop. Yep, so there they are. These are my bullish trend stars. So as of today, it's back to a new bullish trend. Square. That TTWO, is that Twilio? All right, I'll look at those though. I gotta wrap this up. I gotta get back to work. I want to get the MRI out. Yeah, bullish daily, bullish weekly. Look at that. And bullish monthly so far for the month. I mean, that's a big rebound. So I'm bullish across the board. I don't see any problem. And what's the other one? TTWO. No, it's not. It's Take-Two Interactive, whatever it is. So nice weekly MRI top. And this whole year was going to be tricky. Had a yearly top. Wow, this thing has really been going up. Wow, god damn. Well, the stock didn't actually do anything for a decade. Make that 2 decades. Didn't do anything for 2 decades. So it's about time it did something. Monthly, it's bullish. Weekly, it's neutral. I would be careful. Still the high coming in right there. Weekly MRI top. We have the extensions A and B ending. C still incoming. So this C is coming from all the way back here. So this MRI top created this A, this B, and this C. This MRI top does not kick off any extensions because it's a consecutive top. So now this MRI top kicks off the next set of extensions. And A and B just ended. C is still happening. And this MRI top just kicked off some more extensions. So they're in the background. You'll be able to see them if you want to show details. Right there. So extension C was on 11. So we just need to break these highs to get 12 and the last one, 12 and 13. And this A ended, but there's another A in the background. This B just ended, but there's another B in the background. And now there's another C in the background as well. And daily is pretty neutral. So daily, neutral, borderline bullish. I like that star. That star is there for a reason. All right, spending way too much time on this. High tone, if you want to day trade Bitcoin, for example, you would catch yesterday's uptrend, which time frame you check to make the trade with the MRI, 4 hour, 1 hour, or minutes. I'd have to take a look at the charts. We can put the stars to help us. I'll start with the 4 hour and I'll drill down. It's a good question. So here's the 4 hour. MRI is not showing you anything, but we can add the stars in. I'd have to. This is new functionality, guys. I'd have to explain it. There they are. Okay, so if I was day trading, I wouldn't use the 4 hour. So let's just go straight to the 1 hour. So the breakout of prior swing high has nothing to do with the MRI. So this right here is a buying opportunity that has nothing to do with the MRI, but it's great that there's a green star just popped up right there. So that's awesome. So that is where my MRI is fully in line with with other forms of trading. So right here is interesting to me. So this is a beautiful buying opportunity using the MRI and other metrics. And in 2 hours, you had a pretty damn good day trade. So this would have been last night. And I think I'm on Eastern time. Last night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, you had a buying opportunity. Now, granted, right here, the red star indicates a potential selling opportunity, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere and the thing is still rising. See, this is a better buying opportunity due to the fact that we fell and started to rebound. And look where we fell. We fell off an MRI sell. Now, these green stars indicate potential buying opportunities, and the red stars indicate potential selling opportunities. So obviously, if you bought on this green star, you lost money selling on this red star. Now, sell doesn't necessarily mean short. It could mean short, but it doesn't have to. So let's assume the worst case scenario. You longed. The worst case scenario is you shorted, not just sell, you went short. If you sold, small loss. If you went short, bigger loss, because then you're buying here and then you're going short again here, so you lost again. This is where consolidating market is terrible for using these stars, because they are meant to identify trends. They're also kind of built for higher level time frames. But this buying opportunity off of this one, and you don't have to buy it at the end of the candle. This star would have shown up way earlier. It gave you a nice trade with this as your selling point. Again, optional to short it there. That's a beautiful buying opportunity. That is either your exit or a potential short, in which case you're back in, taking the loss on the short, buying here for a beautiful trade to the upside. Now, of course, if you decided to bet half your portfolio on this buy, and then now you're down, a shit ton here, and then you lose more, and then you lose more, and then you lose more, and now you have no money. So this is where risk management is important. So if you bought here and you did not sell, this is where you sell, and this is where you go back in long, but that's on the hourly chart. And this thing is getting ready to give you a red star, which could show up any minute if we drop down, or next candle it will. Got 40 minutes to go. On a 10-minute scale, I would be interested in getting in above that orange line. Curious if there's any MRI tops over here. So there's one over there. So your star comes in on this candle, but the star would have shown up like way back here, like in the beginning of that candle, because I know how it works. So I built the math. So the star would have shown up in the beginning of the candle, because that's what the setting is. I think I'm losing audience. I think I'm boring people. That's what this setting is. Trend, change, extreme condition, prior candle. So that means that this needs to start trading higher than the prior candle. It needs to close higher than the first candle in the series, which was this one. So the green star has two conditions: close higher than this and trade higher than that. So it would have shown up right there. I will make sure of this. By displaying the trend numbers. Which didn't show up because they don't go back far enough, unfortunately. I'd have to use the replay feature. Which works just fine. So as you can see, These are 10-minute candles. And this is the first candle in the trend. This is the second candle in the trend. And this green star will show up the moment this candle is created. Right. So the moment this candle begins, because I have two conditions. Close, the current price of the candle needs to be above this one and this one. But it needs to close above that and trade above that. So obviously on the second tick of the candle, it's trading above this and it would close above that. Well, you don't know where it's going to close, but it's only a 10-minute candle. So the green star shows up right away. So it helps you, but it's not good if you're a consolidating market. Now, you don't know if you're in a consolidating market or not. That's why you got to use them carefully. That's why this is totally new. I didn't have this before. And it comes turned off by default. This is up to the user to figure out if these stars are useful to them and what the conditions are, because you can choose your own conditions. So yeah, so there is your buying opportunity, the break of this line, which was always there. And then potential sell is here, but also here. There's your, oh, this is the candle before the MRI top. So here's your MRI top. So this is where I'm looking to take my profit as a day trade. So on a day trade, you know, you were higher. I mean, that's scalping. I don't like it. I don't do it, but it's there for you. Second wave of COVID. Now we're getting political again. I don't believe there is a medical second wave of COVID coming. I believe there is a massive second wave of COVID propaganda and fear and insanity coming. But as far as a medical wave of COVID that kills people, I don't believe that's coming, based on the medical experts that I listen to. So is there a COVID wave 2? Absolutely. Because the governments want to lock you down and keep you as uninformed and as unproductive as humanly possible and as unhealthy as humanly possible, between wearing the masks, staying at home, not interacting with germs, you know, like eating like crap in your house, being depressed, which causes you to eat more like crap. Yeah, is a second wave coming? Yeah. Is it going to be people dying from COVID? No. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating, very depressive. Especially about look, like any other virus, COVID is going to go away. But you know what's not going away? The elimination of your freedom. That's not going away. The elimination of your freedom and the police and the increased police state, that is going to stay. But a virus that kills 1 in, I don't know, 1 million people, if you're borderline healthy, that's going to go away if it hasn't already. Let's go to, let's end this. I mean, if we break out right here, it's a 10-minute chart on Bitcoin. I mean, a breakout above 10.9 is pretty big. that gets us, that can certainly drive Bitcoin up fast. That's why I have this arrow right there. I mean, that's this is an interesting break. Those I don't need. Oh, wow. I have more questions. Hey, guys, I got to get going soon. Corsair. If it's a new stock, there's not going to be much to analyze. What's the ticker? I mean, here's the daily chart. Did it fall 50% off the IPO? It did not. Only fell 15%. Oh, this is a 1 hour chart. It's not even a daily chart. Guys, there's nothing to analyze. I can't analyze a stock that I never heard of that's been existed for 4 days. That's silly. Uranium sector? No. I'm not a uranium expert. I should know a little more about it considering I have a degree in geology, but I don't know that much about uranium. No comment. No comment. Yes. If you so here, if you go to the details, oh, I don't say it here. Yeah, if you're already using the current TI, you will automatically get access to the MRI. I was supposed to release it this weekend, but I couldn't. There was too much work. I had to make sure that it's accurate. So yes, you will have access to it. It'll be in the same place as, I mean, it's a manual process to give everyone access to it individually, one by one. I got to copy and paste usernames in TradingView. But basically, in TradingView, you would, go to add, and it would be in your invite-only scripts, and it will say MRI right in here somewhere. All right, guys, I got like a million messages while I was on this show, so I'm not sure if anything interesting is going on or not. But all right, guys, I got to get back to getting this MRI published. I think I'm close. As far as I know, that was just the last bug we got to fix. But it is a beta version, so if you spot anything, let us know in the group chat. All right, guys. That's it for watching. If you're interested in the MRI workshop, it's taking place this Saturday. Man, I'd love to move it to the following Saturday, but I think all the ones that signed up already are not going to be too happy about that. And I will see you all on the next one, guys. All right. Bye. Good luck trading.